listeners, haters, masturbators, what is up? My name is Kyle Rodrick Gridley, and this is the first episode of the comedy, topical, political, fucking, you know, we're doing it. Some kind of show. We're doing a podcast. We're participating in the economy. But I know it's a lot to take in, so first, just, how about you take a bit?
There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club.
All right, that was the big GC. Everybody know him. It's George Carlin. Every show we're going to be opening up with a fucking old stand-up comedy bit, all right? You know, see how the others did it. Yeah, and hopefully they're dead. You know, God forbid I play anyone's comedy who's still alive with, strict rules about monetization. You know, it's a whole reactionary culture. My point is, you know, when you talk about, you know, that bit, I guess that's, you know, really what this podcast is, you know, going to be about, because we all have our personal journeys, right? We're all, you know, on a path, fucking working, twerking, you know, just doing whatever we got to do to make it. You know, just at least, you know, if not some kind of profound financial security, if maybe just the next day. But where are we going? Where do these paths lead? And, you know, even back in the old aughts when GC is jamming, I think he knew that the path seemed to end in not a good place. All right, you know, I don't think true success is even a concept anymore, right? You know, when people are making trillions and billions of dollars, you know, we're all, you know, people are part of governments and entities that are fucking nigh untouchable. You know, ivory tower on the beach in Morocco. You know, security this, security that. You know, private jets, private, you know, schedules. There's just a different class of people out there, you know? And, you know, what do you think it's really possible to work towards now? You know, for me, at least, you know, I love comedy. I've been doing it for 10 years, and I have my own unique story, which I'm sure, you know, we'll get into. Yeah, I'm one of those people that I start telling everything that's happened to me, and suddenly my behavior becomes a lot more explanatory. If I said that perfectly. I'm on drugs. That's really what it is. Algorithms and the world we're all getting accustomed to. Yeah, you know, when you're on the internet, when you want to, you know, make something for the first time, like I am, You do gotta understand that there's as what the old I have GC talking, but what about JP? Old Jordan Peterson will fucking fuck the internet and tell everybody that there's a hierarchy. There are rules, and I'm all about ancient archetypes and learning about the history of man and trying to explain current human actions with scientific, psychological, fucking ancient wisdom bullshit. I'm into that. Who isn't? I went to a Christian high school. All right, I have Look, come on. You think this tie comes out of nowhere? And why am I dressed up in a tie? And I think the story and explanation I'm going to give, definitely leads into this concept I'm talking about. Is I like wearing a tie because I have been doing comedy for 10 years, but as my day job, I have been working as a janitor. Worked as a janitor. Thank God I'm done. We've moved up. My knees, my back, my hands. I wake up in the morning and my hands are numb. For 8 years of my life while trying to do stand-up, I was working at 5 o'clock in the morning as a manager, as a janitor manager. They call it lead cleanup for In-N-Out Burger. I've done things in comedy, as they say, and maybe I'll link it, or it'll be in the fucking my little content swirl of the era of when I was doing that and the stand-up I was performing. And when you work as a janitor for a famous, let's say famous company, a very popular company, one of those companies that everybody just fucking just jerks themselves off to. You think, when you're in a place where supposedly capitalism is working at its finest and best and only accepts the brightest and most beautiful people on planet Earth. When you're in one of those places and you're working in a lower middle management position, you do really get a profound perspective on the rules of economics and the reality of money and the reality of business. You work for In-N-Out, a famously well-run company. I'll tell you some stories, bud, about why that perception exists. Talking about a hierarchy. This private lady owning a burger chain, sweet Lindsay, great boss, supposedly. I have nothing bad to say about this woman. This whole podcast is me about complaining about working for In-N-Out. No, I liked it. It was good. I did it for a while. It got me to this moment here. It was an interesting time. I'm sure I'll do things later in my career that'll really shine a light. It was all weird. I was doing stand-up the whole time. So I kind of developed this perspective about hierarchies and order and cleanliness and efficiency. And, I look at it in a way that maybe these things have a lot of pros and cons. A lot of pros and cons. Everything in life supposedly has pros and cons, as I read on Reddit. As I scroll Reddit, I just go positive, ups, downs, down votes, up votes. What's going on? How many people do like stuff? And the world we've created for ourselves and how things function efficiently or perfectly is a bit of a fucked up mess. All right? and it's not fair. It's just not fair. I don't know who you think you're going to be able to be. What do you got to make and create? Who's stopping you? There's a entrepreneurialism in this fucking beautiful modern American economy. I don't know how it works. I don't even know how we got here. I know me trying to start a business as a stand-up, the things I thought, we all go into work and business with a lot of assumptions, and the reality is it's a joke. It's a game. It's pathetic. It's, handicap. We're handicapped and stolen from, and the world's not fair. All right, and the only way to deal with it is to complain about it on the internet, and that's why I'm doing this podcast. All right, just to exemplify that there are categories of people. All right, and is that fair? Is that right? I think as we continue the show tonight, I'll explore it more. I have some clips shows, some look, the whole fucking internet economy. I mean, it's basically, history podcasts and reaction videos. All right, either you're fucking summing up some, the Peloponnesian War, and telling us about some movie that no one cares about, or you're just you're really just wallowing in humanity. You're just fucking just. And what everybody says is so important, and I believe that, and I'm gonna live like it. So, let's take a little commercial break. I have no sponsors. If you want to sponsor Rose Colored Classist, please email rosecoloredclasses@gmail.com. It's right there. You can like it. You can subscribe to it. I want to get paid by the $1 trillion billion advertising octopus, dangerous, scary entity. This fucking Hydra. I'd love to participate in it. Monetize me, baby. Get me on. I know I like swearing way too much. If you guys ever seen my stand-up, I made this movie. It's called A Strange Audience, a stand-up comedy head case. It's 6 comics, and they perform in like a surreal comedy show. If you watch that and you'll see this, you'll start, putting the pieces together by why I'm such a fucking... Why I'm acting so odd. Anyway, I love it. I do have more show to get to, so please, commercial. Holy shit! It's a commercial. Can you believe it? We made it. Right. So no sponsors, no ads. No one cares about this. No one even knows about it. First podcast ever. Not even released when I'm doing this. So here we are. We're gonna promote one of our internal programs we're gonna do as part of Rose Colored Classist, because a lot of shows, they have a lot of ideas, and not a lot of follow through. Look, it's a big ask to say, hey, could you give me money? Could you subscribe to the Patreon? Could you fucking Venmo me? Could you clicky the addy? Could you likey subscribe me? It's a big ask, and it costs you nothing, but there'll be some podcasts in the future where I talk about data, and it's not pretty. This is not pretty. So, here's an idea I've had for a long time. We're doing this program. It's called Pyramid DREAME. Did the effects go on? I'm editing. My Dalmatian is editing this, so I'll bring out the Dalmatian sometime soon. He's a beautiful dog. We're here in my studio apartment, living it up. Sorry, neighbors. Here it is. Pyramid DREAME. Look, this is what we're doing. You email Rose Colored Classist, Pyramid DREAME. All right. Tell us your business dream, business goal. What do you want to do? What do you want to make? What creative thing do you think is possible? All right. And then we get enough submissions with enough different people. Let's talk about 10. We will ask for money. We'll ask for money from everybody. All right. And if we donate money, you vote, right? $1, $2, $1 a vote, 25 cents a vote. We'll figure out the economy later. I know, even though it's the most important thing. And whoever gets voted as number one by, dollar mini money donations, they'll get about, how much do you think? 80% of the money? I need some of the money I'm setting this up. I have my own dream, my own podcast dream, my own comedy career dream. All right. I don't get money. What? I'm the one fucking organizing it. All right. I'm going to look at all these emails. Sure. I won't put up any of the money. That's not fair. Come on. I've worked as a janitor for 10 years. All right. Look, if I start telling you about my family, you don't even know my credit situation. I made a movie for $10,000 and it got 200 views on YouTube. What do you think my portfolio is like? I don't even have a portfolio. My life's been really sad lately, honestly, and I need help. And I think 20% of the help for some other business. Look, you're not even investing in me. You're investing in the business of your dreams. All right? So, right, this is what you have to do. You have to tell us what you want to make, what you want to do, what business you want to set up. Tell us how it's going to work. Give us the Shark Tank pitch. We want to send in a video? Fuck yeah. Send it in. For Christ's sake, send in a video. That'd be so much fun. Okay? And just tell us what your plan is. And then when we get enough submissions, we'll fucking start the fucking game. Pyramid DREAME. sponsored ads and other ads, where all we do is just say, hey, pay a certain amount of money to the fucking program, vote for who you want that money to go to, and whoever wins fucking wins. And we'll follow your progress. Get out the team, go to your house, your garage, your studio apartment, and we'll see, if you really can pull this shit off. Anyway, right. So email rosecoloredclassist@gmail.com with your pyramid dream, and we can get something really fun and exciting going. And it'll be like a extreme home makeover. We'll buy an RV, and it'll be shaped like a pyramid. Brilliant stuff, honestly. Brilliant. All right, and we're back. Okay, we're gonna play a little viral clip. Keeps going viral, keeps going. It's one of those clips that people just keep reposting. Just every fucking channel on YouTube, just copy pasting. Where's my faceless YouTube? And I wish I could fucking be faceless. How fucking hideous the one I got. All right, here's the clip. It's very important. So let's hear what it has to say.
People have every reason to be enraged, and every issue they see, they look up, they get angry, and they see someone doing better than them, and then every day it is speedballed in their face that they are failing, that they are not doing as well as everyone around them. For the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. That is the social compact breaking down. People aged 30 to 34, 60% of them in 1990 had one child. Now it's 27%. People are opting out of America. They're not optimistic about it. They're not having kids. They look up, they see wealth, exceptional wealth across my generation and people in certain industries, and they are really struggling. Their purchasing power is going down, and the incumbents create artificial scarcity on campus. The incumbents who already have a degree see their degree go up in value. We get very concerned with housing and traffic once we own the housing. Housing permits are sequestered from young people. Housing prices have gone from $290 to $420 in the last 4 years. So a young person, a house, stocks that I don't own, skyrocket in value. Let's have COVID relief and flush the markets and take assets way up, because if 1 million people dying would be bad, it would be tragic if I got less wealthy. And we're doing it on their credit card. We have lost the script. Our kids are more anxious and more depressed and more obese and more addicted. And we have made a purposeful decision to let this happen by ensuring the people around this table stay wealthy at the cost of young people.
Ooh, really, really laying it down. I'm sure, if you're fucking on the internet at all, I'm sure you've seen that clip. You shared it, you liked it, you sent it to your friends, you sent it to your family members, really. It's like, not my fault, I'm a loser, okay? I've been telling you for years. I see that clip, and I've watched it a lot because I did, want to prep with it for the show. Again, it's the name of the show is Rose Colored Classist, right? And I named it like that because it's catchy. It sounds pretty good. Classes, glasses. We're a comedy genius here. But I think we do, especially in America. We look at the economy through this lens, right? Where maybe we don't think it's fair, right? Maybe we don't they think it's fair, but we know it works, right? I go into a fucking, a gas guzzling car. Do I think it's fair? I drove, here's the truth. I drove a 1982 El Camino for 10 years. My mom bought it when I was 16 because, she felt bad for my childhood. She's like, this kid's got to have one chance to be cool. Just give him one chance. And maybe it worked. Maybe it didn't. It is, driving the old car is interesting, but was it fair? Was it fair that I had to pay, fucking $1 million to, go drive anywhere? Look, I spent, don't even get me started what I spent on gas when I first started stand-up. I was going to stand-up fucking comedy open mics with, I was driving in with a 1982 El Camino, baby, in Southern California. I was driving. Okay, there was periods of my life I couldn't even afford. I lived in my 1982 El Camino for about 6 years, doing stand-up, working as a janitor. It was an interesting life. I couldn't explain it in a podcast. I'd have to be interviewed. Really. Someone talked to me about it. Really, like I just am full of the stories. But I do wonder. You watch a clip like that, and is it? Was it my fault that I did all that? I mean, I did what I had to, or what I thought I had to, get good at this and, be a part of the business. Put my hat in it and, get trying. Why I am where I am in the scene is my doing. Been through a lot lately. He's talking about all the issues that these young kids have, and I'm 29, and then, my girlfriend just broke up with me, and, last year my grandfather and sister died, 10 days apart. My sister was ill her whole life. My grandfather old. I, took the pandemic and I took care of him, for Christ's sake. The man had Alzheimer's, and my mom was living down there in Mexico with him, and this story just got weird because I just said that we are all living in Mexico. And they give me permission to, tell these stories because honestly, they're in economic desperation. And if, we're not trying to throw everything at the wall, I mean, what are we doing here? Why not just sell our stories for fucking bucks? Is really their perspective at this point. They're like, Kyle, yeah, if you can make any money by telling everybody how fucking sad and pathetic our lives are, that'd be great. And I guess my point right now in reference to this clip is I watch a clip like that and I do wonder, like, was it all my fault? Was it really? Why did I think I could do stand up at 18? Why did I think that? What convinced me? I got my associate's degree from Pasadena City College. That's how far I got. Okay. and what made me make all these choices? What is making everybody make all these choices in this fucked up world that modern economy? This guy, he's trying to say that it's not my fault, right? That it's not my fault. Because I hear with as working as a janitor for In-N-Out, everyone says how well it pays. I mean, sure, I was at the end of my run making $3,300 a month with health insurance, but guys, do that math. Do it right now in front of me. And you think it's enough? You think it's enough to live in Los Angeles? I was born in Orange, California. I've been living in Southern California my whole life. Have I been living wrong? What was I supposed to be? What were we all supposed to be doing? How is this all supposed to go down? He's telling me, fucking showing me fucking graphs. I'm supposed to look at all these graphs and then that's, tell me if I was right or wrong about, trying to be a stand-up. Right or wrong about staying in California. Right or wrong about, spending 10 G's on a movie no one cared about. I'm really mad about that, actually. Why did I do that? Maybe I should have put more in promotion. Maybe I should promote it now. Relentlessly. It's a copyright nightmare. I use songs, and I wasn't allowed to do anything I did, and I did it anyway, and that's why it's not a monetizable. There we go. I am smart. It's not a monetizable fucking product. But maybe this will be. I'm so original. Yeah, I mean, this is what this guy is telling me what we're all forced to do. The fucking wild ass digital economy. The next segment I'm going to talk about this all the media personality out in the world, and maybe I'll take the point home that I'm going to make right now is it looks like the only fucking ways to make money right now is participating on the internet. All right, I swear to God, if you have any kind of company and you're not posting a company TikToks and Reels, you're missing out. Money left on the table. Okay, I got a DUI last year. All right, and then my sister and mom and grandfather died. Okay, my sister and grandfather died, and I got a new girlfriend like a retard during this fucking period. And look, I didn't post anything on the internet. I was still doing stand up and making shit and participating, but I wasn't telling the story about my life, and it feels like I just wasted potential dollars. Okay, I mean, I was making one fucking reel a week, and I was performing okay. They were doing okay. I don't see people doing better now. I was making, getting some traction, but a little personal issues, and I'm thrown all the way off the horse. Come on, Scott. Tell me it ain't my fault. Tell me the circumstances of the world and my life aren't my fault, please. Fucking, I listen to JRE and I'm supposed to be disciplined. Okay, I'm supposed to discipline my way out of every fucking issue. Andrew Huberman telling me not to drink alcohol. Come on, guys. Come on. How do you? If only, right? If only. maybe the other side of that, and I'm kind of dragging this section. I'm dragging this section on a little too long. But what are people really capable of in this life? What are they really capable of dealing with and performing with? And you tell these people to strap up their boots, and they ain't got no boots, and they don't got feet, and they're actually fish. I made a really important point there. Not sure what it was, but anyway. Okay, look, another commercial break. Hit it. We're back. Back again. I am back. Gosh, you listen to the new Eminem song? Is it good? He's doing the thing again. He's doing his old little beat or whatever. I never understood hip hop. I went to a Christian high school. Okay, I mean, look, you want to play Metallica right now? Let's do that. I'd probably be preferable for me. All right. But I still do love Eminem. Anyway, here it is. Another kind of, we're still talking in the same vein, in the same sort of subject. This is a guy named Peter Z. Has his own, YouTube. This is his appearance on the JRE. I did want to rhyme all of it, and I think I did. Look, we talk about the JRE a lot here. Look, I'm a stand-up comedian for 10 years, and he's the #1 show in the whole world. Hey man, another show gets as much ratings as him in the same genre as me. I'll play that stuff. But until that happens, which it'll be about 35 years, because he'll live. He'll just keep living. Fucking, you think Joe Biden's old? Watch Joe fucking Rogan, okay? That guy goes to 95, still doing the show, and you go, I don't think you can do it anymore, bud. I think you should let the new generation take over. But he's young, and he's old, and I'm young, and I am old, and this is the subject we're going to be talking about. It's I'll just fucking Peter, start talking.
The rich world was a population column from 1945 to 1992. And with the end of the Cold War, the developing world became a column in 1992 until now. The problem is that this is all temporary because birth rate keeps dropping, people keep living older, and your column eventually inverts into an open pyramid, upside down.
Pyramid.
And now you no longer have children. You no longer have a replacement generation at all. And there aren't enough people in their 20s and 30s to buy everything. And there aren't enough people in their 40s and 50s to pay for the retirees. So this decade was always going to be the decade that most of the advanced world moves into mass retirement and the economic model collapses.
Here's the point.
And next decade was always going to be the decade that happened to the developing world. And we find out recently that the Chinese have jumped the ship, and this is their last
Shout out
decade
China.
too. So all of the globalized connections and consumptions that create the world we know, we are at the end of it. And we have to go back to a world where trade is more focused on the countries that have a better demographic and security infrastructure because the Americans are no longer patrolling the global oceans anymore. So we're losing the security ramifications of an open system. At the same time, we're losing the demographic capacity to support it in the first place. And that's all going down right now.
All right, that is some interesting news. I'm not sure if you've seen that clip before, but okay, let me try and sum it up for people who can't listen to some drone academic idiot talking. Basically, here's the idea, man. Nobody's fucking, no new babies, all right? No new people. The whole economy is based off of we need new people. We need young people to work shit jobs at In-N-Out Burger and Costco and fucking Del Taco, all right? We need the economy doesn't function unless you have dumb idiots to take shit jobs that'll never help them, okay? It doesn't work. If you can't pay $3 for some Vietnamese person to fucking stitch a jean, then it all falls apart. All right, and then as people get older, you need people to take care of them, and then so even more young people get out of working these tragic slave jobs that are necessary for the modern economy. We wouldn't have all the nice things we have. I wouldn't have bought these shit glasses for Amazon for $14.99 if it weren't for the Filipinos out there. The young smoking Filipinos. They're smoking's crazy. I want some nicotine right now. Zins, what are we doing? Start the capitalism. How about you get some Vietnamese people to start working for you, for Christ's sake? Moving, weird digression from that, but Yeah, basically the point is, the global economy is going to fall apart because it's based off of, the meat thrasher. You just keep fucking spinning people up and cutting them up and breaking their bodies down. I worked as a janitor for 8 years. My back is killing me. I worked at Costco and I tried to lift up a table at Costco one time and I popped my shit. I popped it and I told them, but I was a seasonal employee and it all just fell apart. Okay? And especially coming from someone who just got out of, their elderly and sick family, dying. And I've cried a lot. This year has been tough. It's been basically a year since they both died. And I'm gonna cry right here on the podcast for the first time. I'm okay. Pulled it together. I'm on Klonopin right now. I'm on Zoloft. No, I don't take that. I should. Whatever medicine Kanye needs to get on, that's what I need to take too. Because we're both geniuses. I'm losing the thread here. Having too much fun. Yeah, I guess. I think I made my point, but also that the secondary point is, and I don't know if he makes it here. Maybe we have another clip from him, but I will make this point before that. America might not suffer as heavily from this problem where there are not enough young people to make the economy run at the pace it is at, and it's because of this thing called immigration. All right, and people have a lot of opinions on immigration. Here's a fact about me and my life, but my mom is a Guatemalan citizen. She was born in Guatemala. She came to the United States when she was 3. She got her citizenship when I was like 10. I saw her fucking do it. All right, my grandmother was this beautiful Latina lady. Brown, beautiful, small Latina woman, okay? She fucking took her daughter and she worked I swear to God, she worked as a maid in the houses in Westwood, California. All right, real story here. My grandfather, not my biological grandfather, but technically he was my step-grandfather, Mexican citizen, okay? Grew up in fucking Mexico. In Mexico? I'd tell you the state, but I won't. Maybe because I don't remember. I know it. It's one with a C. Not Chihuahua, idiots. I disrespected his death. Yeah, that's what happens when people die. You just try to get everything about them out of your fucking brain so you can not cry for 1 second. But yeah, I mean, look, yeah, Mexican citizen. He swam across the Rio Grande like 16 fucking times. All right, people love America, and people's love for America, even over all the shit we talk about immigrants. They might be the only thing fucking stopping us from an economic death spiral. All right, in Europe there are too many old people and they cannot take care of themselves, and there's not enough people to work at all. Where's all the working kids? All right, they're on TikTok, they're scrolling. There's nobody left. There's nobody left to fucking, make the wheels run. I'm a big man. I worked as a janitor for a long time. All right, without me, I worked at 11 In-N-Out stores. I trained fucking 50, 100 people. I've been there at 4 a.m. when no one else comes in, and I cleaned the whole fucking thing by myself. All right, took a lot out of me. All right, but without me, think about it. Without me, one In-N-Out that I worked at, maybe served upwards of 50,000 burgers in a month, 150,000 burgers in a month. And without me posting up, maybe at a meaningless job or whatever, but that's, I'm fucking, people's lives, people's meals, people's happiness. Technically they die without burgers, right? I know if I kept eating them, I would have died. Jesus, I mean, my fat body. I'm made of meat and potatoes, really. Yeah, and I guess this is just the problem of the modern culture is that the whole thing was orchestrated in an unsustainable fashion. Imagining that people would like life forever and keep putting people in. God knows. My girlfriend broke up with me because she believed I would never make enough money to support a child. And God, I'm so sad. I was unhealthy because of I worked as a janitor with her and all the stress from my. My sister and grandfather died. I'm sure I was just weak. I was just weak. And the health problems we received during our relationship is complete bullshit. And she's a woman, so maybe it was all in her head anyway. Maybe it was all in my head. Maybe we're just fucking poisoned with microplastics, so we don't think. It's impossible. We're just confused. Anyway, look, let's move on to the last clip. Again, kind of summing up this whole what do they call it? First inaugural inaugural shows. Am I in an inaugural? I look like one of those extras standing in the back. I look like a really bad FBI agent. Not corrupt, just like inefficient and then just pathetic, bumbling. Yeah, I look like a detective in a town that fucking fell apart 20 years ago. Yeah, I look like a detective in an unincorporated town. There you go. All right, talking too long. This podcast is actually going to. I'm having too much fun to be truthful. All right, yeah, let's get into the next clip, baby. It is oh god. Ben, I'm gonna play Ben Shapiro and his little clickbait. I have a lot to say about Ben. But let's just let you hear Ben and you formulate an opinion, all right?
Late on Thursday afternoon, American democracy came under extraordinary threat when a New York jury, 12 New Yorkers, decided to convict Donald Trump. He has been found guilty by the jury on 34 separate felony counts. If he is sentenced to jail time, that jail time could be up to 4 years if all the sentences run concurrently. It's a travesty of justice. This case was a joke from the very beginning. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, who set this entire thing up to become more famous and more powerful. Judge Juan Merchan, who basically gave every benefit to the prosecution, whose jury instructions were unprecedented in their willingness to flout the law. This was all set up to convict Donald Trump.
A theme
Simply,
the way
so Democrats could either jail Donald Trump or spend the next few months declaring Donald Trump a convicted felon for purposes of the election. The actual methodology by which he was found guilty is utterly uncertain. As we discussed a little bit earlier today, the reality is that there were two crimes alleged, a misdemeanor falsification of business records, which would not have resulted in any possible jail time.
Ben's a lawyer, right? Everyone knows that. He's
but
actually like a
that was
lawyer.
reliant to become a felony on other crimes, unspecified crimes. And those crimes could have been a violation of federal finance law, except that Donald Trump clearly did not violate federal finance law. Not only that, the federal government never even bothered to charge him with violating federal finance law, federal election law in 2016. Check your calendar. It is currently 2024. And the case that New York just made is effectively that Donald Trump violated election law in 2016, falsified business records in 2017, and somehow, despite the fact that the statute of limitations has run already, this is now a Class E felony in the state of New York, lengthening the statute of limitations. The number of hoops they had to jump through in order to manufacture this case is extraordinary. The number of pretzel-like contortions the prosecution had to drag the jury through was extraordinary. But in the end, did any of that matter? In the end, was this ever about the legality of the case or the evidence presented by a porn star, Stormy Daniels, or a convicted perjurer,
Who am I talking
Michael
to? Who's
Cohen?
anyone talking to?
Was it ever about any of that? Or was it simply this? If you get Donald Trump in front of a jury of his supposed peers in New York City, one of the bluest places in America, and you charge him with anything, if you charge him with jaywalking, they will convict him. We all know the answer to this. This was, in fact, jury nullification, but it was also prosecutorial nullification and judicial nullification of the law. The law has nothing to do with this verdict whatsoever. This particular trial was certainly about getting Donald Trump.
You droning. Oh, man.
So, did they get
shrill.
Donald Trump? We have yet to find out. I think the backlash on this is going to be extraordinary. Because this is so obviously a manufactured case. It's so obviously a stupid case that has nothing to do with Donald Trump's supposed violations of law. I don't think the American people are going to stand for this. I think that if Joe Biden believes this is going to somehow redound to his benefit, rather than appearing as a politically motivated hit job on his political opponent in an unprecedented prosecution of the man most likely to take him out of office in November, I think he's got another thing coming. I think if this makes Joe Biden the hero in his own mind, I don't think the American people are going to react quite that way.
What mind?
Now, as to what happens next, there is a procedure and there is a process as to what happens next. But it is quite possible that Donald Trump could end up in jail.
Maybe I'll
because
let
Judge
him talk
Merchan has been out to get Trump this entire time. From the gag order to the allowance of evidence, Judge Merchan has made clear he wants Donald Trump convicted.
All right, come on. All right, we're done.
I think he's going to make clear he wants him behind
I gotta
bars.
turn it off.
So, what exactly happens next? Well, there's now a sentencing hearing.
Holy Christ, Ben. All right, I mean, look, the most popular man on the internet, basically, right? Him and the Tuck. No, Ben. there's maybe Ben's in the top 20, top 30. He just has such a special attitude. And look, I know me. I think I should like Ben. We're both, big-headed, shrill idiots. And if I'm not on Ben's team, whose team will I ever be on? Daily Wire, put me on, hire me, baby. I can swear to God, I can video edit for you. That's what we all want. Look, now. Why do I put on Ben? Why do I want to roast him? Am I trying to fucking own him? Hit the algorithm like this fucking cuck does? Sorry, I'm already talking shit to Ben, calling him a cuck, which is pretty hardcore for the first volley. I'm not here to disagree with Ben. To be honest, look, I do not disagree with him. My point is that when you're supposed to disagree or agree, what role is he actually performing? I think there's I don't know how hardcore this misconception is, with the consumers. I definitely think the podcast media personalities have this misconception, but look, they're biased. And they're not biased by their fucking, political inclinations. They're not biased from their, financial obligations. What they're biased by is, look, their job is to talk. They gotta say shit. Especially, people in, I may not levy this against, comedians podcast or, the classic interviews that we see all the time. I'm attacking Ben. I'm attacking, all these fucks, all these cucks who just they just have to say something. They just have to say something. Their whole business is saying a thing to say it. Okay? I mean, especially these people who are lawyers and trying to go on TV. Guys, what do you want to listen to a lawyer for? Are you indicted? Are you going through the system? That's the only time you should listen to a lawyer. Otherwise, they're kind of a fucking asshole, bit of a liar. I don't know if my father was a lawyer, and look, I'll be the first to say, not a good guy. I don't even know why he had me. To be honest, he really should have avoided that one. Realize what you want, man. Realize what you're capable of. Jesus Christ, I'm fucking. Oh God, I'm so mad all the time. It's really hard for me to deal with. Ben has a good father, and he does talk about him. Look, when people's job is to say something, right? Are you supposed to take them seriously? Are you supposed to fucking really believe in them? You listen to Ben talk, and he's supposedly, telling you all the things happening in the news, right? Telling you the current deal. I mean, everybody wants to know what's going on with Donnie T, right, baby? I mean, he's the man. He's the OG. He's the fucking guy. Who doesn't love themselves some Donald Trump? Who doesn't love shitting on Biden? I mean, honestly, I don't think Ben was shitting on Biden enough. At least, he could have gotten more ratings if he did. Gold. I hurt my throat to make that sound effect. That was weird. You like how many cups I have? This is actually a bit of comedy I'm doing. 3 fucking. I'll put all the liquids here. I'll want to see something? Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. I have a green screen behind me. Did that even show up? Look, I'm having fun. Podcasts are supposed to be fun. I as you can see, the styles, it's loose, it's so scripted. I'm reacting in the moment. We're all just trying to be honest, right? Is Ben being honest, right? This is the question, and maybe it's how this whole world functions, podcast economy. Are they being honest? Do I really think Ben believes all the adjectives and adverbs and little fucking digs he's making and saying? I believe he thinks he has to, right? I mean, maybe he thinks he has to because it's so egregious what the situation is. He's really trying to add some flavor so people can get mad. And what did he say? Threat to democracy. I'm sure we're, in the right wing bubble sphere, and we hear, people throw that around as a criticism of Democrats, where everything is a fucking big travesty. But look, again, what is the game? What's the money? And what are we doing? Like, what's the job? What's the job? I don't care how much you make. I don't care what you do with it. I don't care what you really believe in. But what are you trying to actually create, Ben? What did you make? Are you really informing people? You're fucking telling your opinion about all these events, and look. If what that guy isn't a goddamn closing argument, I don't know what is. All right, every time Ben talks, it's like he's in Anatomy of a Murder. All right. I'll hit you with a fucking reference. Movie, James Stewart, Alfred Hitchcock. All right, it's about, something I think Ben would care a lot about. Be an interesting situation for that fucking guy. I wonder if he's seen it. Just trying to be spicy. Just trying to fucking have their point be right. And that's the world we're living in, where you have a point and your job is to make it right. With this podcast, I am, I think the name will indicate that I have a very loose and complicated perspective on a lot of these issues. I like Ben. I think it's entertaining. But, that's what we should consider it, entertainment. This podcast is entertainment. It's not, what did I gain from being here? What did you gain? We're just fucking, wasting time, to be honest. Look, I worked as a janitor for 10 years. How many mindless hours did I fucking have my, AirPods in, listen to some moron talk? And thank God for that moron, because without him, I think I would have, killed everybody. Really. Just would have taken a mop and just fucking shoved some down my coworkers' throats. A lot of them were really great guys. I really appreciate a lot of the people I worked with. And then some others, I hope I never see them. I hope they never see this. Look, I think they're idiots. So, doubtful they'll be checking out my content. Because look, I'm going for the top, the highbrow, the Ben Shapiro listeners. All right, the Ben Shapiro crowd. Look, if every Daily Wire subscriber would give me a fucking follow. God, this is such a complicated world we're living in. All right, yeah, I think I did it. I believe in it. I think my energy was great. Give me your feedback. Call me a fat-headed shrill idiot. Comment hate. Tell me I'm gay. I'll tell you a story sometime, maybe. Maybe I'll have a guest, maybe once a month, rent out a nice, I'm associated with a comedy club. It's called Third Wheel Comedy. We've all been, it's been an interesting time for the business. I can talk about the Comedy Store and the Hollywood Improv, and I've been living in California my whole life, and, the relationships I've made with, some comics and other comics, and God knows I'm a freak, okay? I'm trying to do a podcast alone in my room. Hear me talk like this? Obviously, there's some kind of... And I've been through a lot, okay? Changing. Moving on. Trying to get the content. I believe in it. You believe in it. I think, just tell me you love me. Tell me you hate me. Participate. Really, what I want you to be doing is, filling out the Pyramid Dream, okay? I have another contest. We'll debut it next week. I think it'll be really interesting. It's a lot of work. I got to get the forms filed. Yeah, I gotta go talk to the county clerk. We got to go to Norwalk and talk to the legal experts. See if I can actually pull it off. Anyway, thank you so much. Like, fucking comment and subscribe and do all the things that'll help me. Help me do it. Help me. Hit the music, baby. Get me out of here. Fucking hell.